I'm a little, well, we're going to get going. I wanted to wait to have everyone come in before I shared the screen, but they'll just join when they join. So this is the Rabbinical Assembly Haggadah. And you can see right here, and I can make it bigger if you want, but let's see. There we go. How's that? Eliyahu Hanavi?
It's good.
Okay. So it's literally a sentence that is, you know, saying we're awaiting that soon Elijah the prophet will come and he's going to bring the Messiah. But we sing it, right? At least some sing it. Many sing it.
I have no idea where we are.
Okay. So I'm right here. Can you see on my screen?
Yeah.
Everybody good? You see it on my screen? So I can't help you in your own Haggadah exactly where you're going to find it. But as I say, this section of the Seder is immediately after we finish dinner, we do grace after meals, and then you should get to the Elijah, welcoming Elijah to your home. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to switch my screen. Can you see my screen still? Rabbi Ahuva Zaks, and unfortunately in English, Eliyahu Hanavi. Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to listen to Rabbi Zaks sing this, and then we're going to go back and I'll switch my screen back and we'll read the words together, okay? But I thought you could listen first. Here we go.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera Beyamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
Thank you, Rabbi Zaks. Okay, so now we're going to go back. Oops, I'm sorry. I thought I stopped it and I accidentally restarted it. So sorry. Okay, so here we are, right? And is it all right if I call on some of you to read?
Yes.
Okay, great. Margaret, will you read the first line, the first 4 words?
Okay. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi.
Perfect, thank you. Linda, will you read these next 4 words?
Eliyahu, Eliyahu, wait a minute. It's so used to singing it. Eliyahu, and Eliyahu, oh, it's the same. Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
Exactly. So these 3 are the same. Eliyahu.
Yeah, it's all the same word. Yeah.
Eliyahu, Hagiladi. Right. So Hagiladi. That's all there is to it. Okay. Let's see who. Geraldine, would you like to read? It's totally up to you. You might have to unmute.
Okay, so this is Beam Hara.
Hera. Beam Hera.
Beam Hera. Biyaminu
By Biyamenu, very good. Biyamenu.
Yamenu. Yeah, is that a little old? Yavo.
Exactly.
Elenu.
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 Elenu, exactly. So it's
Elenu.
Bimhera Biyamenu Yavo Elenu. Okay. And Barbara, I don't know if you need to unmute. Will you read the last line?
Im Mashiach ben David,
That's it.
and you would repeat Im Mashiach ben David.
Exactly, exactly. So it's, I'm just review, but you all did very nicely. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. Bimhera Biyamenu, Yavo Elenu, Im Mashiach ben David. Audrey, you have a question? Don't forget to unmute.
So the last word of the second line, Hagila, have we been, so that's how we always sing it, but if I were reading it, have I forgotten a shva rule or something? Because it looks like I would say Hagil Adi. So I would.
Exactly. I believe that is how I would read Hagil Adi.
Okay,
As
good.
opposed to, but what we sing is Hagil Adi, right? So I was going to let us read it the way even Rabbi Sachs is singing it. So, yeah. So you want me to go back and play her singing it one more time? And if you guys want to mute yourselves, you can sing along with her.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. I think I have to clear this chat. So this, okay, fine.
If everybody mutes themselves, okay.
Yes, that would help. Okay. Oh, I want to let me go up here. Come on, come on, come on. It's hard to see because the screen is not doing
I
away.
think it's the one that says prayer hyphen EOKE Eliyahu. If you're looking for
Yes,
hers,
it is.
I think that's it.
Yes, but I couldn't see it because of the bar up there. I couldn't get to it. All right, I'm gonna back her up. Okay, Rabbi, here we go. Hello. All right, it seems to be, here we go.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimhera Beyamenu, Yavo Elenu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so now I'd like to go to Dayenu. So let me do one more thing. So I'm going to find it in, so in this Rabbinical Assembly Haggadah, it is here. So it's in the Magid section of your Siddur. So let's just see. After the 10 plagues, then we get to Dayenu. And again, depending on your Haggadah, it may or may not be there in Hebrew. Let me see if I can find it. So I'm not sure that I found it listed. So obviously here it is in English. Here it is. I just made it so friggin' big, I can't see all of it. But, so let's just get this page all. So basically saying any one of these would have been enough, and yet you kept doing more on our behalf, right? Again, I have Rabbi Ahuva Zaks, who I'm going to have sing it to us, and then we will come back. Okay, and we will read. So the prayer, the song itself and the prayer is pretty long. She doesn't do that long a version, so it's 1:41. So here we go.
Ilu hotzi anu mi Mitzrayim dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu. Dayenu, dayenu, dayenu. Ilu natan lanu eta Shabbat natan lanu eta Shabbat dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu. Ilu natan lanu eta Torah natan lanu eta Torah dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu. Dayenu, 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 dayenu.
Okay, I'm just going to reset her back to here. Okay, and we're going to go back to here. All right, so she sang, I think, only 3 stanzas, right? She sang Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Ilu, let's see.
Yeah, she didn't do the Eretz Israel.
Right, she skipped, so Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim. Okay, Ilu, I think then she went to Natan Lanu, so I'm looking for it. Here, she went to Ilu Natan Lanu et HaShabbat. And then she went to Ilu Natan Lanu et HaTorah.
Correct.
That's literally all she did, okay? So that's what we're going to do, okay? So I know this is confusing, but we'll start up here. So nobody does the first line when they sing it. Kama ma'alot tovot limakom aleinu. Basically saying, you know, kama is how many. So how many of these, you know, great things would have been enough? And then they go on, you know, this one would have been enough. That one would have been enough. But yet I think there's like 13 of these or some such. So, all right. So we are here at this line here. I can't see all of you, so it takes me an extra second to find you. Lenore, would you like to read this first line? I think you're muted though. You're probably all muted from prior. Yeah.
Okay, here I am.
There you go.
Ilu hotzi anu mi Mitzrayim v'lo aseh
Asa.
bahem shefatim.
Perfect. Stop right there. Very good. So Ilu hotzianu mi Mitzrayim. And I'm not, so this appears to be lined up, this Dayenu, after this, right? Velo
Yeah.
asa vahem shvatim dayenu. Exactly. So that's how the sentences run, right? They go first section, second section, comma, dayenu, and then they go on. But so we're going to skip down to, oh, sorry, this line right here. Mary Ellen, will you read this line? You might be
Ilu,
muted. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Ilu Natan Lanu et ha Shabbat.
Perfect.
Velo ke ra
So
kanu.
these, so the kuf and the resh are
read.
going to go together. So make this one sound with,
Care,
exactly.
care, vanu.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing it. It's just my eyes. It's not this. Lifnei har sina.
And
Dainu.
Dayenu, exactly. So ilu natan lanu et hashabat velo kervanu lifnei har Sinai. Dayenu. Now they don't sing it that way, as we all know, but that's okay. All right, and now we have this line. I apologize, everybody, because I can't see everybody. Arlene, are you there? I can't see your face, so I'm not sure if you're at your computer. Okay, maybe not.
I
Hi.
am here, but I'm obviously I'm doing other stuff while I'm listening to y'all. this
Okay,
morning.
don't worry. Then you can pass. It's quite all
Thank you for
right.
checking. Thank you for checking.
It's okay. Edith, would you like to unmute and read this line right here?
Okay, where are you?
Right here, this top line. Can you see it okay?
Okay, below, not Latan, excuse me, Latan, Lanu, et HaTorah.
Perfect.
The next one.
I'm not sure if we want to do the, oh, so we should have done it this way. We should have done Elu first.
Yeah.
So do this
Yeah,
next. Yeah.
I see. You're above the
Yeah, so do this one.
Yeah, okay. Elu, Natan,
Mhm.
Lanu, et HaTorah.
Perfect,
That's-
right.
Oh, does it say it twice?
Well, so velo
Oh, yeah,
natalanu
it is
et
there
hatorah,
twice.
Elu not,
Mhm.
right, exactly. So so all right. So now, do you want to go back and guys mute and you'll sing with Rabbi Zach's?
That sounds good.
Okay, so we're gonna go back. Everybody has to mute though. And I will let her sing to us while you sing along.
Ilu hotzi hotzi anu mi Mitzrayim hotzi anu mi Mitzrayim dayenu 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 Ilu natan lanu et Shabbat natan lanu et Shabbat dayenu 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 Ilu natan lanu et HaTorah natan lanu et HaTorah dayenu 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 Dayenu, dayenu, dayenu.
Okay, that was lovely. Okay, so now I thought we would go to Ah Dear Who. Let me find the page.
Rachel, can I ask, does anyone know where Diana is in Manischewitz? I mean, in Maxwell
Maxwell
House?
House,
Yeah.
right. So
I have it on page 20, Audrey.
Oh, thank you. I was looking way later than that.
So yeah, it's in the, is that the middle of the book, sort of?
Yes.
It's- Yeah, in the
Maybe,
middle of the book,
I'm
there's
in
a
the
bunch
middle.
of songs
I'm
sometimes.
on 19.
Okay, mine's not there, but I'll look around the middle, so thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not mine either. It depends on the edition.
It's the
exactly.
page after the plagues.
Okay. That helps.
It's,
Oh, I see it. On mine, it's 13.
wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Not
Uh,
mine.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look.
That's
I'll look
this
for
the
whole
sun's thing.
So yeah, it's after, in mine, it's after the plagues and before the three symbols of Passover, the page in between.
Oh, I found it. It's on page. Gosh, I'm getting old. It's on page 22 on mine.
Okay.
So
So,
thank
yeah,
you.
depends
Thank
on
you
your
guys very
edition.
much.
Okay. So now I was going to do Ah
Here
Dear
it is,
Who.
21.
Okay, great. Everybody's finding it. That's great.
Different for everybody.
Yeah, but I'm so glad you guys can find it. That's helpful. Okay, so I'm going to page 61. Let's
Oh, wait
see
a minute,
what
that's-
I'm looking for.
Oh, you're looking for idea who?
Yes, which I told myself was on page 61, but why don't I not see it? Oh, this is it. This is it. Hasidhu, Tahorhu, Yahid. I think it starts on the page before. No,
What's
maybe I
what's
got it.
before it in your Haggadah?
Mine's
That's
on
Second.
44.
So we are, what section are we in? I'm trying to see we're in Nishmat. So this is,
Which cup are we?
so this is it. Hasita or refrain. The traditional sing-song chant in which the Haggadah is
Okay,
read
in one of the Maxwell House's edition, whichever the person who said I'm on 22, it's on 56.
Yeah, but it's only in transliteration. I don't see it.
I don't see it any other way.
Yeah, I think that's, and I'm not finding what I'm looking for here either. So, but I have it up here.
It's right before the Omer counting.
That's Haggadah.
But you're right, it's only the transliteration. I will go to my
All
other
right, so we're gonna
Haggadahs.
skip it. We're gonna skip it because
Oh, I love it.
Do you have a recording of it to play though? Because I do not remember it.
that's the thing is I'm not seeing a recording of it. So here's Diana. Here's Echad.
Dear who, dear who.
Keep going, Marjorie, keep going.
Is not yet some vicor
Wow.
in hero, in hero, the amenu vicoro, elvene, Davis You want me to go
I
on?
remember now.
That's
Your
the tune
version
that I
is
was
much more
taught.
melodic.
The
than
tune
ours.
I learned.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway,
Well-
that's my contribution.
It was good.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. We were taught a different tune a year or so ago and I got it all messed up, so, okay.
I hate these modern tunes.
Yeah.
I think
So
the
do
original ones
I.
are so melodic and enriching.
Eileen felt the same way you did last class. And I miss her. I miss her. I know she's at your 1 o'clock class now, Rachel. So
Yeah,
I particularly don't like it when they take Christian tunes and use them. They really don't fit.
Who
But
does
modern music,
yes.
modern music.
I haven't heard that. Who
Can't make
does
this go away. Come on.
Well, it depends, I think, on the age of the cantor or the hazan, whatever, they want to include more of the audience. So they'll take popular tunes, which is fine. But when they take Christian ones, then that's a problem.
That's
Well,
bizarre.
when I said modern, I just love the old Four Questions tune and this, it's just a bit much.
Yeah.
All right.
Never mind. I'll be quiet now. I promise, Rachel.
It's perfectly fine. So I was next gonna do
I've got it.
Echad Miodea. Now, Echad Miodea, again, is numerically, right, an acrostic or whatever you want to call it. Starts out with 1 and it keeps going, right? And it goes, I believe, to
I've got it, yeah.
here. This is the last one, which 13.
Right.
The recording I have is lovely, but it skips. All right, what did I just do? I have to make this a little smaller. I apologize. Here we go. Okay, so I believe it's going to go 1, 2, and 3, and then it might skip to 13, but I'm not positive. Okay. Do you guys know where it is in your Haggadot?
Yes.
Okay. It's usually toward the end, and I'm not sure if they give you all of the verses. Or I shouldn't say the end, but like, afterwards where they have songs. At least that's where it is in the one I grew up with. And yes, it's 13. Up from 1 to 13 it counts. So, and this version, so this might be too hard for you to see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let me think a minute. Oh, you know what? I don't have this one. Do I have this one sung? Give me 1 second. I apologize. I need to make this thing go away so I can find my page and come back to it. Yeah, I take it
Just
back.
had that YouTube up with it, I think.
It's not, I don't think I have Echad Mi. Oh, here it, no, Eliyahu. I don't think I have, I couldn't find it, the one oh, here it is. Here it is. Yes, I do. Here it is. This is a lovely version. Okay, so let me go back to you guys. Let me share my screen again. Okay, so we're going to listen to them. And as I say, I'm pretty sure they're going to do 1, 2, and 3 and then skip to 13, but we'll find out. Okay.
אחד מי יודע, אחד אני יודע. אחד אלוהינו, 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 שבשמיים ובארץ. שניים מי יודע, שניים אני יודע.
Now she's at 13. lovely. Okay, so what they did was they did 1 and 2, and then they went to 13. So they're a little bit quicker than how it's written, but that's okay. So should we read some of it? Okay. I have to, I apologize that okay, Connie, I don't think we've heard from you. Would you like to read the first,
Sure.
first
Well,
stanza?
I'm reading from my book. Hopefully it's.
It should be the
thing.
same. I bet it's the same.
Echad mi yodea. Echad.
So it's not a, it's eh.
Yeah, right. Good. Echad mi yodea. Echad ani yodea. Echad Eloheinu Sheba Shemayim Uva Aretz.
Lovely, very nice. So, and in this stanza, it's asking, who knows one? Echad, echad, echad. So the tense of the formation of the word echad stays the same, but we're going to learn in this stanza and in most of the stanzas, it doesn't stay the same. So they start out shnayim miyodea. So this is the plural masculine form of the word. But then when you get over here, shnei luchot chabrit, this is the feminine form of the word. So that's why it changes. I just wanted you all to know that. Audrey, would you like to read this stanza?
Don't, hang on. I was looking for, I was trying to download. I can't, gosh, I can't. Okay, now I'm back at the screen. It's so small. Where are we?
It's very
Let me
small.
make it bigger. All right, I'm going to make it bigger. Hold on.
Is this from the Rabbinical Assembly one? Or
This is
where
the
are-
Rabbinical Assembly one.
you
Yeah.
gave me that, so I-
Audrey, in Maxwell House, it's on 57.
Well, in Max 57.
Well, is this big enough? I can keep going. I can make it bigger.
No. Okay, just point me to where we are.
Can you see where I'm circling? You see my
Yeah.
cursor?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
But tell me what song this is so I know.
I'm sorry. This is Shnaim. We're right here. I'm going to make it.
I don't know. What song is this? I don't even.
Oh, this is Who Knows One. I'm sorry.
It's still a knee?
So, oh no, this is, I take it back. This is, no, that's right. I'm right. Who knows one? So, so it starts out with a question, basically. So who knows two? So, but in Hebrew, the reverse. So instead of
In the middle of a class. Hold
it
on.
starts out with the number, who knows this? So here's the number we're on, Shnayim.
I'm not making the
I don't
Seder
even know what
next week.
Shnaim is.
Next Friday.
Shnaim, me, Yodea.
Mhm.
Shnaim, I should say it Yodea. Shnaim, Ani, Yodea.
Yes.
Shnai,
Shnei. So this is where it changes. Shnei.
Luchot,
Mhm.
Habrit,
Habrit.
Echad, Eloheinu, Shabbat Shamayim, Uvaretz, Uva Aretz.
Exactly. Uva Aretz. There it is. You got it. So it's Shnaim Miodea. Who knows two? Shnaim Ani Yodea. I know two. Shnei Luchot Habrit. So 2 tablets, the 10 Commandments, tablets of covenant, Habrit. Echad Eloheinu Sheba Shamayim Uva Aretz. And one God on the earth and in the sky, in the heavens. Okay, and that's the nature of the song. It keeps building, right?
But
So
I thought two was Echad Shtaim. I thought it was something like Shtaim. What is two?
well, yes, you're right. Achat, shtayim, shalosh, Arba, chamesh, shesh, correct, but these are slightly different forms of those words, okay? So like here you have shlosha, miodea, and then you get, and the word stays the same, shlosha avot, so our 3 forefathers, right? And then we go to arba miodea, who knows 4, arba imahot, so our 4 foremothers, as it were, right? Ancestors of female descent. Hamisha, 5, who knows 5? Hamisha Humshe Torah, the 5 books of Moses. Okay. Then we go to Shisha, 6, as opposed to, we would say Shishi usually, but Shisha, again, the form of the word for how they're asking the question. So Shisha Sidrei Mishnah. So books or orders of the Mishnah, okay, which are the commentary, the oral Torah. Shiva, who knows 7? Shiva Yemei Shabta. So this would be days of the week, right? Shmona Miodea. Whoops, too far. Shmona Aniodea. Shmona Yemei Milah. So 8 are days to a bris. So the 8 days to the bris of a boy. Tisha, 9, Tisha Miodea. Tisha Yarchei Leda. 9 months to childbirth. This one I did not remember. I had to just look at the English. Okay. 10, Asara Miodea, who knows 10? Asara Dibraya, I apologize, Dibraya. So that's the 10 Commandments.
10 Commandments, I think.
Yeah, it is the 10 Commandments. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Achatasar Miodea, who knows 11? Achatasar Koch Vaya. 11 stars in Joseph's dream. All right. Shnemasar, which is 12.
Are the 12 tribes.
There you go.
12 tribes.
Shnemasar Shivtaya. So I think they play with this word here to make it fit the song, but that's okay. That's the beauty of poetry, and they're allowed to do that. So now, let me see if I can't see it because you guys are in the way, but you can see my screen okay?
Yes.
You see me yank you guys out of the way? Yeah, move you over. Okay, Shlosha Asar Miodea, 13. Shlosha Asar Ani, Shlosha Asar Midaya, so attributes of God.
Right.
But let's read down now that we got here. So Shlosha Asar Miodea, Shlosha Asar Aniodea, Shlosha Asar Midaya, Shneim Asar Shivtaya, Achat Asar Koch Vaya, Asara Dibraya, Tisha
Yeah.
Yarchei Leda, Shmona Yemei Milah, Shiva Yemei Shabta, Shisha Sidrei Mishnah, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Arba Imahot, Shlosha Avot, Shnei Luchot Habrit, Echad Eloheinu, Sheba Shamayim, Uva Aretz. I know that was quick and dirty, but so do you guys want to practice reading just this last, the Shlosha Asar? I can
Yes.
call on you for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Is this big enough for you guys to see it, or should I go even bigger?
Even bigger.
Even bigger. Give me a sec.
No, that was good.
How's that?
Oh, yeah,
Fine.
that's better.
That's good. Okay. All right, we're going to start the top line, and I'm just going to go down my screen. So Lenore, will you read the first line?
Shalosha Hashar
This is a sin, not a shin.
Hasar
There you are.
Mi Yodea.
Thank you.
Should.
Stop, just do one line so I can go through everybody.
Okay.
Margaret, will you unmute and read the next?
Shiloh
This one's a shin. These are both shins.
Oh, okay. Shiloh Shah Asar
Good.
Ani Yodea.
Beautiful. Thank you. Geraldine, will you read the next one?
Shalosh Shah Sar Midaya.
Midaya, perfect, exactly. Okay, Mary Ellen, will you read the next? I think you're muted. You're reading perfectly, we just can't hear it.
Just like Barbara, that happens all the time to us. Shaneem?
Shneim, there's two dots.
Shneim. Asar. Shiv. Taya.
Perfect. Thank you.
I don't know why I can't see.
You did great. Edith, will you read this one?
Cod. No. Asar.
Perfect.
Kibao.
So this is Cove.
Cove.
So this is, yeah.
Vaya.
Koch vaya, exactly.
Koch vaya.
Exactly. Achat asar koch vaya. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. So now, hold on. So yes, we're gonna be on this line at the top of my screen. Hold on, I have to move you guys.
I don't see this.
Where did everybody go? Barbara, will you read this line at the top of my screen?
Asara. Do.
There's a dot, one dot here.
Oh. Deeb. Debraya.
Exactly. Debraya. Asara. Debraya. Exactly. I feel like I've lost a lot of the class here. Why can't I see you all?
There are.
Here, now I can see some of you. Okay.
11 of us.
Yeah, but when I was moving never mind, don't worry about it. Okay, so we're here. Linda, are you there? Or I can't see you, so you may have stepped away. Okay, that's fine. Connie, will you unmute and read here?
All right. Tish a yar hey ya la lay da.
Perfect. Tish a yar hey lay da. Perfect. Here, I'm going to start going backwards on my screen. So will you read again, Connie? And then I'll work my way up again. So here.
Shimona ya
so this is just shh. There's no two dots, okay?
Oh yeah. Shmone ya
Shmona. There's an ah here.
Shmona ya me la.
Exactly. Shmona ya me la. Okay. Geraldine, will you read next?
Okay. Shiva you may
Sha. Oh, Shab. Ta.
Exactly. You may shabta. Good. Okay. Lenore, will you read this one?
Sorry. Okay, now, okay. Shisha,
Mhm.
Sad, Ray,
Seed. There's one dot.
Seed, Ray,
Mhm.
Mishna.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, I have to scoot up a little bit. So now we're here. Barbara, will you read this one?
Ha Misha. Ho Mishe. Homishe. Torah.
Exactly. Hamisha, Humshe, Torah. Mary Ellen, will you read this one for? You have to unmute, maybe.
Arba. Imatov.
Imahot.
Imahot. Oh, Imahot. Sorry.
Right. Okay. Audrey, 3.
Shalosha, a boat.
Perfect.
No,
Excellent.
no, it's a vote.
A vote.
Oh.
Yes.
I said a boat, so a vote, yes.
I gave you the benefit of the doubt.
No, but then I did correct myself. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna finish it off. Shnei luchot habrit echad Eloheinu she bashamayim uva aretz. Ba'aretz. Okay?
Wait a
All
minute,
right.
wait a minute. Read that last line again, please.
Sure. Here, I'll bring it up. She bashamayim uva aretz. You good? That good? All right. Excellent.
Very good. Thank you. You did a great job. Thank you.
Oh. Okay, so now I really want to get to, believe it or not, I want to get to Had Gad Yah, which I will tell you honestly. Okay, this is Had Gad Yah. It goes on forever and ever and ever. I don't think I can make it bigger, so I'm going to get off this page. Okay, so where'd you ladies go? I lost you. There you are. Okay, I'm going to play you the Boys Town Jerusalem Choir singing Had Gad Yah. It's wonderful. It's just over 3 minutes. If you can find it in your book, so it's usually somewhere where the songs are toward the middle, because it's really not part of the Seder service at all. It's just a crazy drinking song, right? It's just a fun, y'all are sloshed, try and say all these crazy words while you're singing, right? And it's about the things that my father bought, right? He bought one kid, small goat with 2 zuzim. Then came a cat and devoured the kid, which my father bought for 2 zuzim. Then came a dog and bit the cat, which devoured the kid, which my father bought for 2 zuzim. Then came a staff and beat the dog, which bit the cat, which devoured the kid, which my father bought for 2 zuzim. And there are many more English versions out there than Hebrew, which was a challenge for me. Then came a fire and burned the staff, which beat the dog, which bit the cat, okay? Then came a water and extinguished the fire, which burned the staff, which beat the dog, which bit the cat, which devoured the kid. Then came the ox and drank the water, which extinguished the fire, which burned the staff, which beat the dog, which bit the cat, which devoured the kid. Then came the shochet and slaughtered the ox, which drank the water, which extinguished the fire, which burned the staff, which beat the dog, which bit the cat, which devoured the kid. Then came the angel of death and killed the shochet. This is terrible. Who slaughtered the ox, which drank the water, which extinguished the fire. That's horrible. Then came the Holy One, blessed be he, and slew the angel of death, who killed the shochet, who slaughtered the ox, which drank the water, which extinguished the fire, which burned the staff, which beat the dog, which bit the cat, which devoured the kid. Since when does a cat eat a kid, a baby goat? Makes no sense, this song, but that's neither here nor there. But this
Wait a
is
minute, this is for real?
Maybe-
This is for real?
this is a real song that's been out there for generations.
Maybe they weren't talking about a house cat. Maybe they were talking about a leopard,
Oh, very
a
smart.
lion, or, one of the
Or a lion.
bigger
Although, but then they go
wild
on to a dog.
cats.
What's the dog? Is the dog
The
a
dog
wolf?
would be a wolf.
Yeah, okay. All right, so this is like a scientific song. It's the hierarchy, the animal kingdom hierarchy. I like that. I can go with that.
Well, it makes more sense.
It makes a whole lot more sense. But I'm warning you, while I love this version, it's, if you don't have the book open, you're not going to understand. They go fast, okay? And it's lots of fun. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are not going to try and sing with them. It's just impossible.
And
But
what's the name of the song again? Oh,
it's
that's
Had God Ya.
okay.
So
Thank you.
as I say, it's in the middle of a lot of it's not really part of the service. So in mine, it's just in the middle section between the Hebrew on one side and the English on the other are a bunch of songs.
In Maxwell House, it's at the end.
Yeah, it's the next to the last thing in Maxwell House.
Okay. All right, you guys ready? Prepare yourselves. It's over 3 minutes and it's gonna go fast, but here we go. It's lots of fun. I love that, I have to say. I think they're fabulous. But we are not going to try to sing that song.
I have a question.
Sure.
It said the Boys Town Choir. Is that like an orphanage, like Boys Town with Spencer Tracy in the United States?
I know nothing other than what we just saw. Boys Town, Jerusalem. Honestly, I don't know. It's from 2016. I didn't look into it. I assume it's an Orthodox situation, right? Because they've got their tzitzits on.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if it's just that they only let boys in because it's Orthodox, so they don't let the girls sing with them. But I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
And,
So questions, Audrey?
and I'm just wondering, and I don't need anyone to research it, but if you happen to find somebody wise, you could ask how long these songs have been going on. When they find, for example, old Haggadot from hundreds of years ago, do they have this stuff in it? How far back do we go is what I want to know.
Yeah, and I don't know the answer. I think the answer is some of them go back pretty darn far. Barbara, yeah, you have a
And I
thought?
read 2 lines from the book that I have.
Please.
For Audrey.
Yeah.
Haggadah was introduced into the Haggadah by German Jews. The song is written in Aramaic and is adapted from a popular German ballad first produced in the 12th century.
Wow.
So maybe you can go back 200 or 300, 400 years, but
Oh, that was great.
Well, that's more than 400, so that's pretty good. Yeah,
Marjorie, you want to say something too?
About Boys Town, Jerusalem, established in 1948 to provide a home and education for young immigrants to the newly created state of Israel. Boys Town, Jerusalem has become one of the country's largest and most respected educational institutions. It was founded by Alexander Linkner, who's a Brooklyn-born rabbi, devoted his life to creating an institution to provide Israeli youth with a quality education to enable them to build the state of Israel with technical skill and Jewish idealism. It's 18 acres and it's one of its major technical training sessions. 950 students aged 12 to 20 study and live. They are children of immigrants from 45 countries, 6 continents. 75% are from economically disadvantaged backgrounds, etc.
Thank you. We are just a host of information. Mary Ellen, did you still have something you wanted to add?
Google.
Thank you, Marjorie.
What she said, what Marjorie said.
Okay, Connie, something?
One other comment is we always did our second Seder with a family that when we came to Haggadah, every time an animal was mentioned, we'd make the sound of the animal. And that really, as hilarious as this song is, and as fast as it is, adding the animal sounds is pretty funny.
I can imagine so.
Well, and we do with the Angel of Death also, which is the star. So.
Yeah. Barbara, Audrey was asking something about the book you were reading from.
yeah, it's called The Really Fun Family Haggadah. And what I've decided to do is I will scan and send this page to you because it also points out that the individual animals represent something in Jewish history. So for example, the stick is supposed to be Persia, which replaced Babylonia as the leading power of the Middle East. And the cat is a different one, and the ox is Islam. And
okay,
so
that makes a lot of sense.
The top part of that page might be useful or might be interesting to see.
Perfect. Okay.
So I'll scan it and send it to you.
That's so
Great, great.
All right, ladies, that's all I had for today. A little different, a little fun. And I won't see you for 2 weeks because we have Erev Pesach and then we have the 7th day of Pesach, which is the 22nd. So we won't see each other again until the 29th.
Wow.
I'm going to go into withdrawal.
You're going to
And you're not going
practice.
to give us any homework between now and then.
No, other than I'm going to remind you to practice. Practice, you know, you got to practice to keep up. It's a new skill. Geraldine?
I got the real pleasure of actually meeting my seed board regional president in person. She is a real person.
I am.
Okay, I just want to say that she really is real.
Yes,
So
we
it was
touched.
nice to,
We touched
yes, we touched.
elbows.
So I want to, you know, I know that you all are real. I'm a, you know, it's just not on the Zoom screen. Okay,
Right.
thank you very
We're not
much.
holograms. We are real.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I'm a COVID convert. So, you know, when I get to see somebody for real, it's like they're really real. Okay.
Well, to
I
everyone,
went to a paid up membership event at Geraldine's affiliate.
very nice. That's wonderful. Well,
Yeah, it was very nice. I had a good time.
It was
I'm
Mrs.
gonna wish-
Hamilton who dressed up in period clothing and everything.
Oh, wow.
yeah, Barbara.
One more thing, with respect to, I think I asked early on, Pesach versus Pesach.
Yeah.
And I wondered, oh, you know, is it just whatever your family said, that kind of thing? Because I think a lot of people say Pesach. Well, I happen to be listening to something from Chabad about this, and not about that topic, but they were all saying Pesach. So I
Right.
wonder if just the old Eastern European one.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I associate it with Yiddish essentially, as opposed to Hebrew, because Pesach is Hebrew. So Pesach to me would be, yes. Mary Ellen? Oh, Mary Ellen, say goodbye. Okay.
Oh.
Audrey?
I was going through one of the songs that, whichever song you gave us from Chabad in your email.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have a transliteration below the Hebrew, and they pronounce, well, first of all, I think the singer was doing it correctly, but the transliteration was definitely not correct. It was very Orthodox, American Orthodox, as I would say. So I guess that's more Yiddishkeit. So that's probably that probably does account for the difference in pronunciation.
Well, and so with what's going on in Ukraine, I don't know if any of you listened to the podcast about dead Jews. There's a whole book, right? Everyone loves dead Jews. So, and they remind you of the history of Ukraine. And there's another podcast I listened to also, which reminded me of the history of Ukraine. So, Schneerson and that Orthodox group all started in Ukraine, and they spoke Yiddish as their language in the home and in their communities. They all spoke Yiddish, which is, a conglomeration of several other things. My closest girlfriend, her parents were German Holocaust survivors, and they considered those who they ran into who spoke Yiddish not to be as educated as they were speaking pure German, for instance. I think that's an unfortunate bias, obviously, but nevertheless. So, but we some of us used a lot of pieces from here and there, right?
Yes.
I heard Yiddish at home, but my parents did not want us to know it. It was how they could speak without us understanding what they were saying.
Ours too.
I had the same.
They absolutely wouldn't let my grandparents teach us.
Right. They did not want us to know.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
I picked up some things, but it was purposeful on their part. Yeah, it was their private language. So, all right, ladies, I wish everyone a Zissen Pesach, which is a sweet Passover. Enjoy yourselves. Think of me while you're reading certain lines in your Haggadah, and I will think of you.
Great.
Thank you.